on day! What is that thing? It's a little bit magical, this, isn't it? So I'm quite intrigued by this. You've even posed in front of a snowman, haven't you? Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Now if you haven't been here before, Sue and I are travelling the UK with our two dogs, Archie and Fudge, and we're living full time in the motorhome. So this episode we're going to take you to a couple of places. We'll go to Cirencester, a lovely family camping site called Hopleys, and then where I am now, which is a site called Tackeroo, which is in the middle of Cannock Chase. And we're doing all of this whilst battling the coldest winter snap I think the UK has seen for a long time in the snow and the ice. So I hope you enjoy this video. Move on day! We've been stuck in the same place for 4 weeks and now we're moving on. And we're heading off to a place in Cirencester. We've never been to Cirencester before, so I am really looking forward to that. We'll catch up again on the way or when we get there, who knows. We are currently in the dog walking area at the Cirencester Caravan and Motorhome club site. And we're here for a few days, so neither of us have ever been to Cirencester before, but I think it's quite historical in England from a perspective of the Romans were here, and there's an amphitheatre, so it sounds as if it's a really interesting place. So we're going to take you with us and find some really exciting stuff whilst we're here. What is that thing right behind me? Don't know. I don't know if it's Roman or how old it is, but there is an information board a bit further along, so we're going to have a look and find out. Well, look at this. The last time I saw snow like this was when we were in France skiing. I can't remember ever seeing snow coming down this thick. Squeaky snow, that's what I call it, squeaky snow. Can't ever remember it coming down this thick in the UK. I'm sure it has, but I don't remember it. This is absolutely a gorgeous winter wonderland. I'm actually very excited by the snow. So as you can see, it is still snowing extremely heavily. It's a little bit magical, this, isn't it? I always love the snow when we're out in the ski resort, and of course it has a real purpose there because you're in the hills and you're motoring down at high speed, but even there you can go a whole week skiing with some brilliant snow, but it doesn't actually snow, and then when it does you get this beautiful kind of dull sound, that's not the right word. Everything seems quite muted. I don't know how it's going to sound on the microphone, but things seem really muted. I'm going to walk, see if you can hear my squeaky feet. This is I'm actually just in the dog walking area at the Cirencester Caravan and Motorhome club site. It's a great dog walking area because it's quite a big field, relatively speaking. And what? I can't remember what I was going to say. I am so excited and bowled over by the snow. I can't remember what I was going to say. What I was going to say is that's it. Dogs can be off their lead here. Often dog walks are quite small, and often they tell you that dogs have still got to be on their lead. And this is just right for Archie this morning because we've decided this afternoon we're going to walk into Cirencester. Cirencester will be interesting, won't it? The walk will be interesting when it's just like this. But we're going to walk into Cirencester. That's going to be about 1.5 miles, we think. So with having Archie with us, it's just a short stroll this morning around this park. Give his legs a little rest, ready for later.
Christmas lights are all around. I can see them now. It's like they spell your name. It's insane. Now we're back here once again.
In 1716, the first Earl of Bathurst set about creating a picturesque landscape linking two estates. He concentrated on developing a landscape of formal avenues or rides radiating from a focal point and running at angles off a long straight avenue called Broad Ride. So we're back walking at the same place that we were at yesterday. And it looks completely different because of the massive snowfall that we've had. I don't know what time it started, but it was a major snowfall between about 7 and 10ish. So we are having a great time today, aren't we, Susie? Hey, you've even posed in front of a snowman, haven't you?
Yeah, under duress.
Always got you on my mind, but I know this time you're on top of my list. Only we, and as we decorate the tree, only you and me. I'll be making plans, make you understand. I'm not gonna play it safe. I'm not gonna play it safe. It's going down on Christmas Day. 'Cause I've been trying to tell you in every way. Yeah, I've been trying to show you, but somehow still I wanna have someone to hold. Walking through the falling snow. I've been trying to tell you in every way, but now I'll get it done. I'm not going away and right around the mistletoe. I'm gonna let my feelings show.
So this is day 2. So yesterday was when the snow started quite early in the morning, and now we're on to day 2. And as you can see, it's still laying and it's cold today. So Sue and I have had a chat this morning. The news is reporting how there's complete carnage on the roads of Britain, and therefore we thought, well, we're not in any rush to get to our next destination. We do have to pick up Archie's food, which we've ordered to be delivered to Pets at Home in a place called Great Malvern. And we were going to stay not far from there, but we don't need to because we can just travel through there and pick the food up. And hopefully in a day or two the roads will be slightly better than is being reported at the moment. So we've decided we think there's probably going to be enough space on the campsite. There are a lot of pitches, parts of the site closed down, but it still isn't full. So we think we can probably book for another day or maybe even 2. We'll see how we go. Now, what I should have said about the Caravan and Motorhome Club site at Cirencester is we really like it. We tend not to like the big sites really, but this one's quite good. We wouldn't stay here in the summer, it would be too busy, but this time of year, I think we're paying £25 with electric hookup on a hard standing. It's called a multi-surface pitch. So yeah, so we really like this site. Definitely somewhere we would come again, and particularly this time of year when it's not as busy. Oh, good showers as well, and they're not push button. My pet hate of push button showers, and they're not. You can turn the heat up and you can turn the water on and off just when you want to. So Archie and I are walking to this monument, and I've been quite intrigued by it for the last couple of days. So today we're going to get right up to the base of it, not to the top of it, and we're going to see what it is. Well, I'm none the wiser. There's no plaque or anything round the bottom of the column, so I have no idea what it is. It's quite intriguing, and it's actually directly in line through, I'm going to have to turn you around to see this, but there's a direct line to the church that's in the town. So let me see if I can turn you around. And you can see that you've got that row of trees either side, and directly, if I zoom in, so I'm quite intrigued by this because I have no idea what it is, and there's nothing on that tall monument to let me know what it is. So I'm going to have to Google that and find out for you. So I'll find out and let you know. Now, some people might say it's completely mad to be cooking bacon and eggs outside in the snow. But I think you'd be completely mad not to. The Roman amphitheatre was in Carinium, which is the old Roman name for Cirencester. And at the time, this was built in around the 2nd century. And at the time, apparently there were about 10,000 residents of Carinium, and this amphitheatre would hold about 8,000 people. And I'm guessing if we look right down there, and I'll swish you around so you can see it, you'd have been able to see sword fights and all of those gory things that you would see in those movies. But I think the Romans would have been freezing their little Roman nuts off today, on a day like today. From memory, they wore, it wasn't a kilt, but it was something that would have been like a kilt, and I definitely don't want to describe it as a skirt, because I'm sure that would probably be quite offensive. I don't know what the name for it is, but they'd have definitely got a bit of cold snow up around their nether regions when they were sword fighting on a day like today. So this is a little piece of English history. I'm going to turn you around now so you can see the full extent of it. So we're at a site called Hopleys. It's a family camping site, and they've got this fabulous rustic bar. So we're going to have something to eat here. There is an open mic night which starts at 7 o'clock. So Sue's going to do us a turn later. Definitely not. I'll see you later.
Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing?
It's definitely a cold one today. I think it's about -6. Actually a bit warmer than yesterday, but still, a bit Baltic. Archie and I are having a mooch around the site. Sue and Fudge are out running. When we were in the Rustic Cafe bar last night, it was really noticeable that Fudge, she still had some running in her legs, so she was a pain in the backside because she kept trying to get Archie to play with her. And of course we were in a bar, so that was not on. Anyway, we're going to have a mooch this morning. I'll show you a little bit of, not a lot, but a little bit of the campsite that we're out running here for a night. It's called Hopleys. And actually the people here are so friendly. We had a great time in the bar last night. We left before it was open mic time because I was slightly worried that Sue would get up and do a turn. No, not really, she'd never do that, but I was worried I might get up and do a turn. But anyway, so I'm just going to have a wander now down to the toilet block. The toilet block's really nice because it's got underfloor heating. It's got my pet hay, which is a button push shower. However, the water, as I found out last night, was fantastically warm. So it was when you've got the underfloor heating and lovely warm water. Actually, I could put up with pushing the button a few times. That pond is absolutely frozen. I mean, I'm not daft enough to go and stand on the ice, but I did just prod it with my toe, and I reckon it's a complete solid block, which is unsurprising considering the temperatures that we've had over the last probably 6 days or so now.
time I think Santa's gonna come and join us in this song. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand.
So I'm looking at these square platforms and looking at the site map there. They have those big bell tents. So I think they've just taken them down for the winter. But in the summer, I bet this place is absolutely rammed. Particularly if you've got children, this will be a magnificent place to come to.
I just wanna say that I feel that our love is.
Now, Archie and I are going to climb the steps to the Rustic Cafe, which of course won't be open now. As you can see, the children's play area outside. There will be a quick view of the cafe because it really was a great place. It reminds me of a ski lodge or a ski bar. We had some banging music going now. It will definitely be just like a ski bar.
This is rare, and I wanna take you.
Oh, Archie's going in. He goes in lots. This is it. It's a great place, isn't it? Oh, I can see a herd of deer in the distance. Come on. Oh, Archie, we're not going in today. I know you enjoyed yourself last night, but we're not going in today. Let's get the catalogue.
Oh, oh, I just wanna love you, right? Oh, oh, love you till the end of time. I just wanna hold you for forever. Every day you're making me better, 'cause I'm loved.
On this night, people have come together in the square. While light flames.
So what I want to show you today is the campsite that we're on at the moment. It's called Tackeroo and it's right in the middle of Cannock Chase. And as you can see, we are currently the only people here.
Ding dong, they're ringing out for Christmas.
This campsite is interesting for us in the winter because it doesn't have any electric hookup, and we're here for 2 nights. And there's a little bit of sun, but of course we're also in the trees, and you don't get a lot of sun through the days, do you? So it'd be an interesting test. But actually, in the meantime, let's just enjoy this beautiful place. As you can see, we've still got snow and ice on the ground, so it's pretty chilly. I think we'll be rinsing the gas for the next few days to keep the heating going. That doesn't matter, does it? Better that we stay warm. Oh, and the other thing is there is no water because all of the water is frozen. Thankfully, we sort of predicted that because we've been having problems on most of the sites we've been staying with all the pipes being frozen. So we came with a full tank. We don't normally travel with a full tank, but I'm so glad we did because it means that, well, for the next 2 days, not a problem. We'll be sharing in the van as well, but we're okay. We had a knock on our door last night, which was a bit worrying at the time, but again, not a problem. It was the Forestry Commission ranger guy welcoming us, checking we're okay, making himself available to get us water if we needed it, but otherwise a very friendly welcome in a glorious quiet place. I can see a road ahead, so Archie and I are going to probably try and find a little track through the trees in that direction. So we stay away from the road. We have a barrier ahead. Not a barrier for Archie, because he'll be going under. And guess what? Oh, blimey, so will I. We've now come full circle. We've kind of done a around the block. I thought I'd show you the facilities on this site because they are pretty basic, but we don't need them, do we? But there is at least somewhere to put your bins. There's a load of mess by that bin, and I think Sue and I'll probably go and clear that up later. And I don't think that's because people will have dumped things. I'm guessing it's little critters will have got in there. And here is the chemical waste point, and I don't know if the water will be running here, but there is a handy little cover on the tap, so you never know. It might not have frozen. I'm going to find out later. In the meantime, I'm going to head back to the van. I'm going to make myself a nice warm cup of tea. I've lost the van now. It's definitely there somewhere. Oh, there it is. I'm walking in the wrong direction. Anyway, I'm going to make myself a nice warm cup of tea and get ready for Sue getting back from her run, because she's bound to be freezing. Yesterday when she came back, she had icicles hanging off the side of her hair. So if you're still watching, then thank you very much for bearing with us right to the end. This year we told family and friends not to send Christmas cards, and what we've done instead is the money that we would have spent on Christmas cards and posting them, we've decided to donate to charity. So we've donated to 2 charities this year, Cancer Research UK and the MND Association. So finally, we are sending lots of love and hugs to all our family and friends. And to everybody else that's watching this, we hope you have a very Merry Christmas. We hope you have a peaceful time enjoying whatever it is that you do at this special time of year. And this will be our last video before Christmas. So until next time, Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!